Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Yes, I am back in Canada, and I am here to bring you, finally, my Q&A. Due to some delays, some other travel that I've been doing, it's been a little pushback, but let's just get started. No excuses. As you guys can tell from the title of this video, this is all about my experience living in China. I will start from the beginning, just to say I absolutely loved living in Shanghai. I don't know if it was the fact that it was my first time really experiencing living away from my hometown, living in a place where I had no family, no friends, and just really going for it. I've done solo trips before, like a few, but this one was really just going for it. I asked on my Facebook page, in a few Facebook groups that I'm a part of, on my Twitter, what questions you guys had about my experience of living in China, and here they are. Okay, our first question comes from my little boo, David, and it is, wait, did you move to Shanghai or are you just traveling there? Did I miss something or what's poppin'? I didn't tell everyone whether or not I was moving there, you know, mysterious. But in my videos, I did chat about the fact that I was there learning Mandarin. To be honest, I would absolutely live in Shanghai permanently. I would move there and live there for several years. Maybe not for the rest of my life, but I would definitely be into the possibility of living there for 4 years, 5 years. There's so much opportunity there, especially for foreigners. We really have the opportunity to just get in there and throw ourselves into work based on our experience, especially if you have a university degree. It's amazing. If you want me to do a video on expat living in Shanghai, I could definitely try to rope somebody into it. Maybe I'll do a podcast on it. Did you guys know that I have a podcast? I'll leave the link down below. My next question comes from Coulter Bouchard. Hey Coulter! Thank you for asking a question. So it is, do they have bag screening at every train entrance? And the answer is yes. In Shanghai, oh man, this is like real struggle talks right now. If they can have a checkpoint, they will have a checkpoint. I experienced this in Shanghai, I experienced this in Beijing when I was there. They had checkpoints at every subway station. Well, if you call it a subway or a metro or train station. They had security checks. It was honestly like doing an airport screening. I will say though, and this was like a hint given to me by somebody who lived there. As long as you're not in a main area like Nanjing, for instance, you'll be able to just walk through. And as long as you don't have a really big conspicuous bag, like a suitcase or anything like that, they're not going to make you put it through the full thing. Sometimes they'll just direct you, especially if you're a foreigner, they'll kind of like use their hands to be like, hey, go. But a lot of times they don't want to confront you and say, hey, like, why didn't you go through the security screening check? So there were times many times when I was late for class, I was just bolting to try to catch the train. So I would just walk through. And as long as you kind of walk through with confidence, they don't really stop you. One of the reasons why I did really feel very safe in Shanghai is that there was so much security. And of course, there are definitely pros and cons to all of it, and I'm not going to get into that, but I really did feel quite safe in Shanghai as a result of all the security that was there. But then of course there's the other side of it where the security wasn't really doing very much, so you can kind of take it for what it is in a sense. Okay, next question comes from my little boo, Samantha Jane. Definitely check out her channel, guys. I'll leave a link down below. Her question is, I've been following your journey on Instagram. It's like a whole different world. Has there been much of a language barrier when you're out ordering food, etc.? Yes. In Shanghai, there is certainly a language barrier wherever I went. It wasn't like being in Paris where my garçon spoke English and like it wasn't broken English. It was a whole other world. Going to the grocery store was definitely the first time which was maybe 2 days in. I went to the grocery store for the first time, and I felt like such a foreigner. I didn't realize that you had to weigh your bananas and like get a sticker on them before you went to the cash. And I bought a bunch of fresh fruit and vegetables, and the cashier just looked at me as if I was so stupid. I can't remember whether she was able to motion that you have to get it weighed first, and I just said, okay, just take it off, it's okay, it's okay. And at that time I didn't know any Mandarin at all, so it was tough, but it really did teach me a lot. It taught me about my own sense of perseverance, and as well it really fueled the fire under my butt to really just learn basic Mandarin and learn how to ask for the things I wanted. By the end of it, I was in the grocery store asking this girl for cinnamon, and she handed me cinnamon sticks. I was like, no, I want powder, and she said we don't have powder, and I understood her. So it really was, I don't know, I felt accomplished as a result of that, and I think that also made the experience much better for me too, because it really gave me a feeling of, okay, I've done this, I can do this. Learning the language is not easy at all. I didn't even get into learning how to write in Mandarin using the Hanzi, the characters. That's difficult on its own because there are a lot of different meanings there. But I definitely feel that I could do it. Okay, my next question comes from Monique Christina. Hi, Monique. And her question was, I would love to see Beijing for myself, but I've always been concerned about their air quality. I have asthma and live in Hawaii. Here, the active volcano has caused me to stay indoors when the fog is really bad. Any thoughts? Or is this a place I should take off of my travel list? When I was in Beijing, the weather was not that bad. However, I had asthma as a kid. I still carry around my Ventolin, so my puffer with me. While I didn't need it while I was there, and that could be as a result of just growing out of having asthma at the time, so having less irritants around me in my environment as I've grown up, I would say that this would be a difficult trip for you. There are times when people don't even go outside during the smog and the heat alerts in Shanghai. In regards to Shanghai, that's where I experienced the weather the most. I was told that I got a pretty easy rainy season, and I could definitely see that. However, it was hot. There were some days that it was just hot, and I really just gave up on life. I didn't wear makeup. I just walked outside, I did my thing, but then I also spent a lot of time indoors with the AC cranked up. Yes, Monique, this would be a difficult trip. However, I'd say that if you're willing to feel uncomfortable for a few days, throw on that mask and make it out to Beijing. It truly was beautiful. The trip was worth it for me, but I don't know how you'd feel out there. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not gonna say don't do it, but I'm also just giving you all the facts. So the next question comes from Arnissa Hamilton, and her questions are must-sees, must-dos, accommodations, transportations, and of course, info for the foodie. I have several blog posts already written about Shanghai, Beijing, what I loved, what I didn't love, etc. In regards to Beijing, I only spent a weekend there. I will say that I loved spending time in Tiananmen, in the Tiananmen night market as well. It was really cute. That's definitely a must-see. You definitely have to try duck when you're in Beijing. That is a must. I was there with my buddy Steven. His uncle took us out for dinner, and his uncle, I tried duck liver soup. I really just went in there, and the duck itself, so that flaky duck skin is so good. It is amazing. I wish I had some now. It's very rich. It's delicious. I didn't really try very many other foods in Beijing. I tried a little kebab. I tried this really good drink. I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, that's all I could think of for Beijing since I only spent a weekend there, like I said. Over to Shanghai. Oh my, okay, this will actually surprise you. Try the fast food out there. McDonald's is so good. They use a full chicken thigh on their chicken burgers. They just pull the bone, they use a boneless one, deep fry that thing, slap it on the bun. I can't stop raving about it. I absolutely loved fast food in China. Oh my gosh. Okay, one thing you really have to do is hot pot. So it's pretty much this huge cauldron of boiling water that has a few spices in there. I'm not sure which ones, but it has some spices in there, and you order whatever foods you want to put in it. So it's almost like Korean barbecue where you cook it for yourself, except it's boiled, not grilled. And this, oof, And then you have a little peanut butter on the side, so while you're like boiling your beef, you get your peanut butter all ready, you mix some other things in there, and you just throw it in your peanut butter, dunk it in, and eat it. If you're allergic to peanuts, don't worry, you don't have to have it with peanut butter. There are other things you can mix it up with. If you like spicy food, go on the spicy side, but be warned, it is spicy. This isn't no play thing. Like, out in China, they know about spicy foods. If y'all are Caribbean, then you know about spice. In China, they know what's up. But definitely enjoy yourself some hot pot. I loved it. In Beijing, I stayed at the Emperor Tianmen. Loved it. I recommend it. It was a great hotel to stay in that was pretty local. In Shanghai, you could definitely stay close to the Bund. So there's actually an area that's very popular where some of the bigger hotels are. I recommend staying on the side that is not where the popular, I think it's like the Pearl Tower is. I don't recommend staying on that side. I recommend staying on the other side that is attached to main Shanghai, and that way you'll be able to see more of the city without having to take the ferry or without having to take the bridge across, and you're also very close to everything that's going on. Stay near, I can't remember what it's called, Jing'an Temple. There. Stay near Jing'an Temple. That is pretty much the 5th Avenue of Shanghai. It's very bougie, it's very cute, but it's also quite touristy. The reason why I recommend staying in touristy areas is there's more of a chance of you finding somewhere where people speak English, and as well you'll have the chance to quickly dine in a restaurant that might be easier for you to eat. A lot of people don't get sick in Shanghai as a result of bacteria. They get sick in Shanghai as a result of their stomachs just not being used to the food that's being served to them. Okay guys, those are all of the questions that I got. If you have any others, be sure to leave them down below in the comments. I'd love to be able to answer them. Like I mentioned before, I really loved living in Shanghai, and I would do it again. Maybe I'll end up there again soon, but you'll have to keep watching to find out. Alrighty guys, until next time, just go.